You've been told creatine is for getting big, a muscle supplement, a bodybuilder thing, a scoop you take if you want to add plates to the bar and inches to your arms. So if your goal is fat loss, you skip it. That single decision might be the reason your progress has stalled. Here's what nobody told you. Creatine is one of the most studied molecules in all of human performance, and the research on it goes far past muscle size. It touches how your brain uses energy. It touches how hard you can train. It touches the exact machinery your body uses to burn fuel, and almost none of that ever makes it into the conversation about getting lean. Why is that? Part of it is marketing. Creatine got branded decades ago as a mass builder, and the label stuck. Part of it is fear. You've heard creatine makes you hold water, and the moment you hear water, you picture bloat. And bloat sounds like the opposite of lean. So you avoid it. You leave it on the shelf and reach for the fat burner with the aggressive name and the tribal print label instead. Let's slow down and look at what's actually happening inside you. Your muscles run on a fuel called ATP. Think of ATP as cash. It's the only currency your cells spend when they need to do something hard right now. Lift the weight, sprint the last 10 meters, drive through the final rep. The problem is your cells only carry a few seconds of cash on hand. After that, they're broke. Creatine is the backup wallet. It hands your cells the raw material to rebuild that cash almost instantly. More creatine in the muscle means more rapid ATP recovery, which means you recover faster between hard efforts. That sounds like a strength thing, but follow the chain one link further. What lets you burn fat in the gym? Volume, intensity, the total amount of quality work you can produce before you collapse. Creatine raises that ceiling. Richard Kreider, who has spent his career studying this compound at Texas A&M, has pointed out something most people miss entirely. The benefit of creatine isn't a single magic effect, it's that it lets you do more work more often, with better recovery week after week. And more quality work is the single biggest lever you have on body composition. So the first fat loss mechanism isn't exotic at all. Creatine doesn't melt fat. It lets you train harder than the version of you that skipped it. And harder training, sustained over months, is what reshapes a body. But the research gets more interesting than that. There's a thermic story here too. When you take creatine, your muscle cells pull in water with it. That's the water weight everyone fears. Except that water isn't sitting under your skin making you puffy. It's going inside the muscle cell, increasing what scientists call cell volume. And a fuller, more hydrated muscle cell behaves differently. It's signaled to grow. It's signaled to hold on to protein. It runs its metabolic processes in a more anabolic state. Why does that matter for fat loss? Because muscle is metabolically expensive. Every pound of it costs you energy to maintain, all day, even while you sleep. When you're dieting, your body would love nothing more than to strip that expensive tissue away to save fuel. That's the cruelty of most diets. You lose weight, but a chunk of what you lose is the very muscle that keeps your metabolism high. You end up smaller, softer, and slower to burn. Creatine fights that. Darren Kando, a researcher in Canada who has run more creatine studies than almost anyone alive, has shown repeatedly that creatine helps preserve lean mass, especially when you're training and especially as you age. Hold on to more muscle during a cut, and you hold on to more of the engine that's doing the burning. You finish the diet leaner and harder instead of smaller and flatter. That is a fat loss advantage, even though the supplement never touched a single fat cell directly. Are you starting to see the pattern? Creatine doesn't work like the fat burners promise to work. It doesn't spike your heart rate or make you sweat through your shirt or give you the jittery feeling that tricks you into thinking something is happening. It works upstream. It protects the tissue that matters. It fuels the work that counts. It plays the long game. Now let's talk about the part almost no one covers. Your brain. Your brain is an absolute glutton for energy. It's roughly 2% of your body weight, and it burns around 20% of your fuel. And here's the thing. Your brain uses the exact same ATP system your muscles do, which means your brain stores creatine too. Eric Rawson, who studies creatine and cognition, has published work showing that creatine supports mental energy and resilience, particularly under stress, sleep deprivation, and fatigue. Think about what derails most fat loss attempts. It isn't usually the workout. It's the Tuesday night when you're exhausted and depleted and your willpower is gone, and the easiest decision in the world is to quit. Decision-making runs on energy. Self-control runs on energy. When your brain is running on fumes, discipline is the first thing to go. A better-fueled brain makes better-fueled choices. That's not a slogan, that's bioenergetics. The same molecule keeping your muscles in the fight is helping keep your resolve in the fight. So let's pull the threads together, because by now, the picture should look nothing like the one you started with. Creatine raises your training ceiling, so the discipline a cut demands doesn't collapse the moment you get tired, so you produce more fat-burning work. Creatine defends your lean mass on a diet, so you keep the engine that drives your metabolism. Creatine fuels your brain. None of these are the flashy promises printed on a fat burner. Every one of them is built on decades of peer-reviewed research with thousands of subjects. Now, what about the fear? The water weight concern is real, but it's misunderstood. Yes, the scale may rise a pound or two in the first week. That's intramuscular water, not fat, and not the bloated, under-the-skin softness people imagine. Within a couple of weeks, your body adjusts and the scale settles. If you're judging fat loss by a single number on a scale that can swing 3 pounds from how much salt you ate yesterday, you were never going to win that game anyway. What about dose? The research is boringly consistent here, and boring is exactly what works. 3 to 5 grams a day of plain creatine monohydrate, not the expensive, flashy, advanced delivery versions. Monohydrate. The cheapest form is the most studied, the most proven, and the one every researcher I just named keeps coming back to. You don't need to load it. You don't need to cycle it. You don't need to time it around your workout to the minute. You just take it every single day, and you let it accumulate in the tissue where it does its work. Consistency is the whole strategy. The supplement that wins isn't the one with the best marketing. It's the one you actually take every day for a year. And maybe that's the real reason creatine never gets covered in the fat loss conversation. It's not sexy. It doesn't promise a transformation in your first week. It doesn't make you feel a rush. It just quietly does its job in the background, while the loud supplements take the credit and deliver nothing. Here's your challenge. For the next 60 days, add 5 grams of creatine monohydrate to your day. Same time, every day, so you never forget. Pair it with the training you're already doing and the diet you're already running. Don't change anything else. Then watch what happens to your strength, your fullness, your recovery, and how you actually look as the fat comes off. Let the data convince you, not me. You've been told creatine is for getting big. It turns out it might be one of the smartest tools you have for getting lean.